What up with the people? Hoping you know by now my name is Sylvester Jr. and this is Culture by Sylvester. Conversations with my father. You know it's time to get down. This is get down number 4. It's entitled What's in Your Heart? Flipping through the old man's journal. And I found a little segment where he talked about what's in your heart, which was a major conversation for us. We really chopped it on this one. And in essence, what the old man said is,
Afro right here, or somewhat of an afro. It's not big, no. But they want us to wear skin here. What they call it, high and tight. High and tight. It's not my culture.
it's the mind that makes one wise or ignorant, or bound or emancipated. Emancipated just basically means freed. He said, but one is positive or negative based upon what's in one's heart. And so when we was talking one day, I shared with him some thoughts I was having when he wasn't around. You know, in my old neighborhood, we used to be getting into it with guys, and there was a lot of, you know, violence going on. And I shared with him some of these malicious thoughts I was having about what I wanted to do to some of these guys who pretty much had declared themselves enemies. And so the old man was like, man, look, he showed me the other side of that. You know, none of my guys had never talked to me like that. So he was like, man, if you do that, you're gonna have to kill him. Because if you do that and he survived, man, he gonna kill you on sight, Jack. He said, I know I would. You know, he's like, you out of pocket with your thinking, man. And he began to help me restructure my thinking and control my anger. You know, I hadn't realized that I, again, have fallen hook, line, and system for how these people want us to be, how they want us to carry ourselves, how they want us to be amongst each other within our communities. I was gone. I was on that. You know what I'm saying? It was up. When I saw him, this is what I was going to do, and it was going to be some violent stuff, right? So the old man told me, he said, it is the duty and the honor of all life to articulate as best they can the attributes of God. He says, for instance, the snake must represent snakish ways. The rat must portray the rat. And all must be as they are. He says, so if you claim to be an intelligent, civilized being, he says, look at what you're doing, man. Look at what you're saying. Check your thoughts, you know. The stuff that you're thinking, does it align with the attributes of God? God don't just love you. He don't just love me. He loves them people that you want to hurt too. That ain't God speaking to you and leading you that way, man. Come on, man. Snap out of it. Where you getting this from? You know, so that makes me ask you the same question he asked me, the things that there may be some guys you stand with, when I see him, it's on sight. You know, think about that. What's on sight? What you gonna do to him? And why? You know, is it that bad that he tapping your ex? Is that a death sentence? Or because he bumped into you, or he stepped on your shoes, or he spilled your drink, is that a death sentence because he cut you off on the E-way so you finna open up? You know, here's another one, a real one, real life. These 5 men, they're not even men. These 5 males, these guys out here in Memphis, that put it on Tyreek like that. You know what I'm saying? Beat this man to death. What could be in your heart that would allow you to beat a man to death with this badge that you felt they gave you the right to do it? Like if you ever had a fight with somebody and you beat him, you know when you won, you know when he's had enough. But to beat a man to the point where you killed him? What's in your heart, man? You know what? They may have been able to tell their boss or their commanding officer something, to justify that beating. His lights was his whatever the reason was. But you know, my question is, what could they have told their mama? Because your mama know you. Your mama know when you lying. Your mama know when you're nervous. Your mama know if you was a coward before you became a cop. I know a lot of cops. I know some good cops. These guys, I'm not even talking about them as cops. I'm talking about them as humans. What's in your heart, man? Same thing on the street, though. You know. When we start seeing some of the stuff that we're seeing in our communities, I talked about it earlier with the words you speak. Are we beasts at heart? Are you a savage in your heart? Because these are the actions that I'm seeing. And look, I'm not trying to act holier than thou. I'm not 17 anymore. I'm not 22 anymore. You know, I'm not even 29 anymore. So I'm not really living in the same world you are as it pertains to the circles that I'm in. But I've been there and I understand it. So I just want to ask each and every one of you, you know, why do we self-proclaim to be these things that are now taking possession of us? And the actions that we're taking, I want each of us to question what's in your heart. Because if you are behaving in such a way or acting in such a way, it might be time to start thinking about changing what's in your heart. Because what's in your heart travels to the brain. What's in your brain travels to the nervous system. What's in your nervous system is going to respond in your actions. All of these get downs have been kind of sequential to get to this point, to explain how all this stuff is connected. None of this is coincidence. What's in your heart? This is me talking to you. Now I want you to ask yourself, check yourself, and see if it's time to change it. That's it, man. This get down was straight and to the point. I hope you heard it. I hope you feel it. I hope you have these conversations internally. And for a lot of you, I'd like to see some changes, some adjustments, or at least willingness to change. Because if you change, just you, I ain't talking about the whole black community, all black people. I can hear you all. I can hear you. Man, black people ain't gonna come together. I'm not talking about black people. I'm talking to you. What up with you? What you got on it? You willing to be open? You willing to change what's in your heart? Because if you're willing to change what's in your heart, man, we good as a people. We finna come up. We already creative. We already smart. We got bread in the community. We got everything except for the right heart. So man, look, my name is Sylvester Jr. This is Culture by Sylvester, Conversations with My Father. As my old man used to say, until next time, to be continued. Over and out. As I always say, much love, much respect. Revolutionary salute. Spin one.